Welcome back to a mobile episode of the Less Doing Podcast. I'm your host, Ari Meisel, and I'm walking and talking. Sometimes I feel like that's how I'm most creative. So if there's any background noise in the background, forgive me. But hopefully the content shines through. One of the roles of a founder, I think, is very similar to training wheels on a bike, right? So you're there to support the learning of your team and their ability to sort of get their feet moving. And then once they get it, or even slightly before they get it, you remove the training wheels and you put them away. Then if you have multiple children, as I do, at some point you put the training wheels back on the bike to help the next child. And I see this a lot as the relationship between a founder and a team member. Bringing them on, supporting them as much as is needed, not as much as you can, as much as is needed, and then getting out of the way to let them grow on their own and also make some of their own mistakes. The idea of being replaceable is what this is all about, but still being indispensable. I truly believe that me and everyone else on my team is as indispensable as can be. The company will run without any of us. It will grow without any of us. But it just wouldn't be fun. So the indispensable aspect is what makes it fun and exciting and engaging and what makes us want to do it day after day and keep it going. So in practical terms, what this came down to this week was every week we do our weekly team huddle and we look at our Trello board. And for those who aren't visually familiar with Trello, it's our project management tool that I highly recommend. And there are cards that represent each task, just like Post-it notes on a wall. And each one of them, in the way that we teach it, has one owner. I believe that if you have multiple owners on a project, then you never know who the owner is. And you always have to have an owner. So as we're going through our weekly tasks, we typically go through person by person. And in Trello, you can sort by the cards based on, what person is assigned to them. So we look at our COO, and she's got, 20 cards or so and things that she's got to be working on this week. We look at our assistant coach and head of customer experience, and she's got 10 to 15 cards. We look at our creative director, she's got 15 to 20 cards. And then we get to me, and there are 2 cards for me. One is to record a podcast episode for this week, which is what I'm doing right now, and which is my absolute favorite thing to do in the world, to create content that provides value. And the other card for me is for me to withdraw my profit share for the quarter to my personal account. So I just thought that was so amazingly telling. The 2 things I had to do this week were create content and take some money out. And there's something to it, to being considered the talent in your business. And the talent isn't always the founder, and it's not always one person. And any business that you're in, I don't care if you're an accountant or a dentist or a coach or a actuary. You can be the talent in your business, and you can drive the business forward with your ideas, not your hands. Your hands don't have to be there pushing and touching and getting in the way and, quite honestly, interfering most of the time in what would otherwise be an efficiently operating business. So eventually you get to that pinnacle where you get to do the things that you want and get paid for doing it. Again, not to overhammer this, but looking at what was my responsibility for this week, I'm doing what I love and getting paid for it. That's what happens this week for me. So if that sounds like something that you want, then you should check out some of our Replaceable Founder offerings. We do intensives in New York once a month. We're actually now offering virtual intensives where I'm spending 6 hours on Zoom with people all over the world. And we have a coaching program called Less Doing Leaders. So check out our Facebook group, The Replaceable Founder, on Facebook. And if you're interested in finding out more, then go to less.do/apply and see which program is the best fit for you, so that you too can be the talent in your business. Make it an effective day, everybody.